So do you want to be on Trump's board of peace?
I say no. So what's going on today?
Well, Trump keeps claiming that everybody wants to be on the board of peace, but it's not quite the case.
No.
So get this, guys. Trump is uninviting Canada. You're not invited, Canada. And he actually tweeted this out. So check this out. It says, "Dear Prime Minister Carney, okay, please let this letter," I don't know, is it tweet a letter?
I don't know. Everything is letter.
I guess so. And it's capitalized too.
Yeah.
Please let he's capitalizing weird stuff. Please let this letter serve to represent that the Board of Peace is withdrawing its invitation to you regarding Canada's joining what will be the most prestigious board of leaders ever assembled at any time. Thank you for attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So you're uninvited, Canada. What's that?
So I guess Canada can go have fun, not to be bored.
You're right. They're very, very bored of peace. It's been a really awkward position for countries because they put out a list of like, it was accepted, declined, and then no answer. Most countries are like...
Invited.
What's that?
Invited. They just say that invited.
Yeah, invited. Yeah, invited and no answer. That's a good point. Yeah. So it's because it's like, how do you respond to this? Because I don't think people really want to accept, but do you really want to just flat out decline? I mean, is that?
Yeah.
So, because it's kind of like if someone like wants to go on a date with you, you know, and they keep sending you a text message, should you say no, I don't want to date you, or should you just not answer? You know what I mean?
You know, it's worse than that. You want to date with me and pay me.
Oh, you want to date with me? Like, I already don't want to date with you, let alone give you $1 billion, which is a pretty big, I forgot about the payment thing. Okay, get this. This is the Korean headlines. Read the Korean headlines.
Korean headline is 80살 독재의장. 누가 믿고 81년 UN 대체할까?
Yeah, and what's the basic translation? I'll read it in English. So it's Trump, who would trust an 80-year-old dictatorial chairman to replace the 81-year-old UN. It's actually pretty funny because I didn't realize Trump's about as old as the UN.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny.
And funny that, you know, he's 80 years old and now he's president after 4 years. He's not. So.
Well, no. It's 3 years now.
Oh, 3 years now. So after that, what's going on?
Yeah, so do you really want to join this thing that, you know, and to put it in context, guys, this is the photo that the Koreans use when they talk about Trump in this particular article. So, you know, the thing is like they don't just flat out say in the headlines Trump's a total moron, but they do make jokes about it, right? And by the choice of photo, you can kind of see how Koreans feel about Trump. Did you see this? Did you see this?
What is that?
This was something that Trump tweeted out. I think this is like 2 days ago, but look at the map there.
Oh, Canada should be really mad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then this is all fake.
I don't know. He really believes that? That someone should, you know, who's older and, you know, for that, you know, I don't know, somebody has to plan that, right?
Yeah, so the whole Trumpy social media stuff, so I think some of the stuff he actually does right. Other stuff, I think other people right. And then we know that there was a thing that came out recently where like they showed his desk and it had like how can you say it? like a tweet printed out really big, and it said to like for your review, meaning that they it's like before you publish a newspaper or whatever, review it. So it is certainly not, it's not random, this kind of stuff, they're doing these things. And obviously this is, we'll just call it, mustache party, 1930s Germany kind of stuff, but it is not cool, to be frank. And then you also ask who does this kind of stuff. You have to also put this in context. Today they arrested some protesters and they tweet out a fake picture of a protester. I showed you that one. So don't do that. I mean, you're already... What's that?
That itself is really bad. And why you cover the police face doesn't make sense in Korea. Because, police is your government people, part of government person.
Right. So it seems weird to
and we sometimes we kind of blur the criminal's face, but not the police face. That was really weird.
Yeah, the idea of like a faceless police person. Well, it's the same as with the ice masked people. Like you
Yeah.
got this faceless government people coming to arrest you. It's bad. But I also want to show that there is pushback. Canada, this is from Carney. He actually tweeted this out and gave a speech basically kind of about the USA, but this is what Carney says. He says, Canada and the United States have built a remarkable partnership in the economy, in security, and in rich cultural exchange. But Canada doesn't live because of the United States. Canada thrives because we are Canadian. Basically, like Canada's doing a good job because we're Canadian. And then much of the other parts of the speech is like, in Canada, you don't have to be any particular color. You don't have to be born rich. Like he's kind of hitting on Trump because Trump is born rich. Same with Elon Musk. And Carney's just been showing real leadership, and the world really took notice in Davos.
And he wrote that himself too.
Yeah. So this is actually separate than the Davos one.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Davos one, everyone was like, yeah, he wrote himself. I think he writes all his stuff himself.
I
What's
see.
that? Yeah. This just came out just like a couple hours ago. Yeah. But this is something that he's been doing is just like, showing the world that you don't have to be partners with the USA in that way. And one thing that everyone's been talking about is, Carney said, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
We say you're become side dish.
A side dish. It's the same idea, right? Yeah, it's funny. It's interesting because you have to put this all in context. So Carney was saying the middle countries need to like forge their own path, basically. And this just came out in the news like just a couple minutes ago. It says India's sales of treasuries deepen, pivot away from dollar assets. So basically, India's selling off U.S. Debt. So is China. I don't know if the Koreans are doing this right at the moment. I wouldn't be shocked if they would be because if you guys don't know, because you've been following the news, the yen, which would be in Japan, the Korean won here in Korea, it's been sinking relative to the dollar. And locally, like Japan and then locally in Korea, they're trying to get their people to say, hey, we need to invest more at home, right? Get your assets out of the USA, basically what it is. And India's showing that. So this matters. And also it's interesting that they're talking about here in Korea whether or not they should join Trump's board of peace. So
They're saying they're reviewing now, but I don't know. My opinion shouldn't.
yeah.
No reason to pay more than not even America. We are paid for just Trump's pocket. I don't want that.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to join, and I doubt they're going to pay. And then their official answer just says it was something like, "This is something that needs to be reviewed carefully because a hasty decision could lead to mistakes. I won't prejudge it as something that they're not going to do it today or tomorrow, so it's not going to happen anytime soon." And then what's going on recently, it's actually really interesting, is Canada's basically open for business. And so what do they need right now?
Submarine.
Yeah, and at the moment, there's 2 countries involved.
Now, Hyundai Hanwha is one team, and Germany.
Yeah, so basically it's Germany and Korea, right, are basically fighting over a Canada...
Money.
Yeah, Canadian money, Canadian contract. The German companies, and for those of you in Germany, you may know these companies. So it's actually Volkswagen. I think we all know Volkswagen. And then it was some sort of submarine company, ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems. And I guess this is like, it says the world's largest maker of non-nuclear submarines. This part becomes really interesting because Korea actually wants to make both non-nuclear and nuclear submarines. And so my understanding of it is they had to negotiate with the USA to approve for the nuclear stuff. Whether or not Canada wants to buy nuclear stuff eventually, I don't know, it's up to Canada. But Canada's making deals. Like you can, do business with anyone. And if to give you just an idea how big this is like $43 billion, and it would be the biggest sale for Korean defense industry. So it's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, so but it's so much big of money. So the Canada one, you're gonna buy submarines. So you gotta build those other business, you gotta bring us more like business, I guess.
Yeah, so basically Canada wants jobs, essentially. So it's a tricky thing because the idea is like, would Volkswagen come and build a plant in Canada, or would Hyundai come, right? And every time we bring this subject up, people say, well, Hyundai definitely come. I mean, like, clearly people want jobs, right? Makes sense. But in the past, I think it was like 1989, Hyundai did build a plant. It was open for about 4 years and ended up closing. And this was in Bromont, Canada. And if you guys are familiar with Bromont, you guys can write in the comments on this. But, you know, there's a negative situation in Georgia. But I don't think, hopefully Canada wouldn't treat
I don't
the Koreans
think so.
the same way the Americans would. So, but Korea's a little bit gun shy in that one, because if you're going to build a plant, who are you going to sell cars to?
Probably Canadian.
Canadians would be one. I mean, obviously
One
Canadians.
is Canadian,
right?
American, Mexico, you know.
Right.
Probably.
But the issue, and you guys probably already get the problem here, is that if I decide to put a whole bunch of money in Canada and then I want to sell to all of North America, what if Trump continues his trade war, right?
And there's like, you know, demand and no one spent money.
Yep. What if the American economy just crashes, or the Canadian economy, to be fair, right? Like, so we're in a situation to where, like, in these kind of deals, and I understand from Carney's point of view, hey, you know, we need jobs. If you want our subcontract, give us, you know, jobs and build factories. But this is what they're doing. They're having a real conversation about it. So I guess Korean, like, CEOs and such are going to Canada. There's a planned trip. I think it's coming in like a few days. That's why it's being reported here. Hyundai, I'm not sure if they're going to do it. Who
knows? Because, you know, if there is no profit, why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean,
they're the company, not the, you know, like volunteer
or charity.
Yeah, charity.
No, it's a good point. And also just the conversation with you guys, because it's interesting when you have this, you know, talks, is from a government's point of view. This would be from Canada, US, anywhere. We need to get jobs in a city that doesn't have jobs, right? Because big cities is where everyone wants to go, so they're not in desperate need of jobs, right? And you also want a city that would have cheap land and all these issues. But if you go to any city in Canada or the USA, it doesn't matter, say a small city doesn't have jobs, they often don't have roads, maybe don't have schools, maybe not enough workers.
Yep.
Right? And so it becomes really, really difficult to determine a location and all these things and do it quickly. I don't know what's gonna happen with this one, because I don't think Volkswagen is so interested in doing it either. Just, you have a combination of factors of,
or
like,
they just, you know, they try to, you know, try to get more benefit, but why not?
Yeah, well, we'll see. And true story, I've actually owned Volkswagens. A lot of my friends had Volkswagens, but this is like back in the 90s when Volkswagens were really cool back then. Like, we used to have.
Still cool, no?
No, guys, I like Volkswagen. Like, but they I don't know. They had some sort of weird scandal.
A scandal.
It was, if you guys remember, it was like the diesel thing. They were lying about their numbers of what the cars could do, and people really didn't like that, because you don't lie about your cars. Even Elon does it, but don't do a Volkswagen. It's not a good thing. And then there's just more competition. So Volkswagen, I mean, traditionally they have the really cool the Beetle or Bug, like that little cute little car.
Beetle.
And then the Bus is a really cool car too. So they got cool car, and they got the Jetta, and they got a bunch of stuff. You know, what's that?
You mentioned it because you're keep mentioning of the really old model.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So
there is
what's that?
New iconic model from them.
Yeah, they do have new ones out here. Like, they sell them here, but you barely see any Volkswagens here, and they just lost it. If you're in Germany and you're German, what happened to Volkswagen? Please tell me. I don't study Volkswagen that much, but I'm just bringing it up because part of the submarine deal is, what else can you do? And actually, it's not just cars. Cars are the more, you know, the sexier thing to talk about, but Canada's also looking for more investment in natural gas infrastructure, rare earth mining, small modular reactors, and high-speed rail, which is really interesting. So that one, the high-speed rail, the Koreans are pretty good at this stuff.
You're good at it.
Yeah, I mean, because we got the KTX here, which is basically literally a high-speed rail, and then also good at subways. I think the Germans are good at this stuff too. German engineering. Don't doubt German engineering. What's that?
I think France is good.
High-speed rail?
Yeah.
I know Japan's good at that stuff. Probably, I'm not sure about France. I can't comment on that, but I was gonna say, don't doubt German engineering. But, you know, long story short, though, guys, this is something that is really important, is respect other countries, especially when, you know, someone like Carney is certainly going to do that. And, you know, you have real businesses competing for real contracts, whereas from the Trumpy point of view, is like join my board of peace because I tell you it's prestigious, and buy my Trump coin because I promise you it's going to be worth a lot of money. And you know that's kind of the difference is what we're talking about here. It's like a, how can I say? Do you know when we say like circus clown or circus circus con person? That's what Trump is. It's just like a circus. We say barker. Barker's like a person who's like yells at people, "Hey, come into the tent! Come in the tent! You know, we're gonna sell you stuff." It's just not going to get you anywhere. And I think we're really seeing a realignment of stuff. So that's why this issue with Canada now has power, you know, having Korea and Germany, you know, basically compete with each other over this contract is really quite fascinating to look at. But anyway, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Canada, you're uninvited from the Board of Peace.
Yeah, go have fun.
Yeah, time to enjoy yourself. And also, I just want to bring quickly, just to show you guys, we got a bunch of Canada products here. These are actually like granolas and such. So we have it here. Don't work for this company at all, but we actually do buy Canada stuff here. It says proudly made in Canada. They had granola here and a bunch of products actually from Canada here in Korea recently. It was on sale and I got some and it's awesome. So thank you, Canada. Thank you. Anyway, thanks again for watching and we'll catch you all in the next video. So bye.